Okay, Paragraph Aleph. Nefesh HaChaim Shar Daled. So till now we've been discussing all of the various, aspects of greatness that comes with learning Torah, and this parak is going to continue this theme. And then from the next parak, Chav Beis, just the general plan, so Chav Beis, Chav Gimel, Chav Daled, Chav Hey, Chav Vav, Chav Zayin, Chav Ches even, are all going to be talking about the terrible things that come with not utilizing the opportunity to learn, right? So if you're missing out this opportunity of this greatnesses that he's discussing till now, what are the effects of that? So that's for the next couple of chapters, and then he comes back for the next 5 chapters to the greatness of Torah once again. Okay, all right. So let's go. So and so is wondrous the level of the oimlei haTorah, of those that involve themselves, work themselves, toil in Torah, gam be'oidam bezeh ha'olam chachoshuch, while still in this world that is dark, lehasig ulehastakel beruach kodshem be'or ha'elyon, to reach and to gaze with their Holy Spirit on the Or HaElyon, on the lofty light, right? Gedolim tzadikim b'mesoson yoisum b'chayim le'ein erech. We say that tzadikim are even greater in their death, even more so than they're alive. Meaning, achar asher nishmosa hatohira rabba sovo lo toiru mitzvahs. Now that their neshama, which is pure, has satisfied itself with Torah and mitzvahs, v'hishava el beis avio, and she returns to the house of her father, mikudosha, and having become holy, umitohira, and having become pure, kasher nitna, as it was given, ubeyisran oir haTorah kadosha talmudei biyodoi, and in addition together with the light of the Holy Torah and the Talmud that's in his hand, kol hashe'orim niftachim lefonav, all the gates open before him, v'solik uboka rekiyan, and he leaves and he splits open the heavens, v'tzorah b'tzorah HaChaim, and he is tzorah, what's tzorah, like a bound to the he is bound to the knot, to the source of life, as Hashem Elokom is Baruch Shmoy, to God, God, blessed be his name. Right? So meaning after all of this Torah and all of the greatness, that he dies and he takes all of this Torah with him, that Torah, opens up and his neshama returns to its source, and that is even greater than, and his opens up even greater than he was before. Okay, Ubetana de Eliyahu Rabba, Omar, V'Shema Toimer, maybe you will say, Hoil v'nichnas Moshe lebeis Olamoi, now that Moshe has entered Beis Olamoi, meaning the next world, the cemetery, right? The next world. Shema botel mimenu oisai hakeser me'or ponim. Maybe from him the keser of me'or ponim, the crown of this me'or ponim, of this brilliance of his face, is removed from him, is taken away from him. No, Talmud Loimer, the pasuk says, "V'loikom novi oid," right? There will not arise another novi like Moshe. Ponim el ponim, that saw Hashem face to face. So what is ponim el ponim? Right? It says face to face. So my or ponim shel ma'ila kayim le'olam, just like the faces above, meaning God's face, quote unquote, kayim le'olam, endures forever, or le'ol me'olamim, right? Never and ever. Kach ma'or ponav shel Moshe. So too, the light of Moshe's face goes in with him to the Beis Eloma, to the next world. And this applies not only to Moshe, any Talmid Chacham that learns Torah from his childhood until his old age, and he dies, in truth, he does not die. Rather, he is forever alive, Okay, Shenemar, as it says, V'hoisa nefesh adoini tzura b'tzura chaim, and it was the soul of my master was bound to the knot of life as Hashem Elokecha. Makish Talmud Chacham HaTzadik El Elokim. There is a connection between Talmud Chacham, the Tzadik, and God. Ma Elokim Yehi Shmoi HaGodol Mevorach Chai V'Kayam. Just like Hashem, blessed be His name, is forever and ever. Kach Talmud Chacham Shosad B'Torah Kol Yom U'V'Meis. So to Talmud Chacham that learned the Torah all of his days and he died. Harei Hu B'Chayim V'Adayin Lo Meis. He is also still alive and he has not yet died. V'Hu Chai Lo Ilom. And he lives on forever. V'Heichen Hu Nishmosoi. So where is his soul? Tachas Kisei HaKoved. Under the throne of glory Adkan. Okay? So, again, I'm not sure all of the details of this medrash, but the point that he wants from here is that that the Torah that a person learns, right, it eternalizes him more than anything else. Okay, and he's going to come back to this in Paragraph Test, but right, but that's what we're taking away from here, that the Torah that a person learns, and there's a stress here, as we'll see again in later chapters, that he learns the Torah from Mikat Nusa V'ad Ziknusa, his whole life, meaning there's no, he's permanently attached to the Torah. That's the key feature here. It's the attachment, as he will stress further. Okay, let's continue. V'nafshay tisba b'tzach tzechois ha'or ha'elyin hagonus, and his nefesh tisba will be satiated b'tzach tzechois with the brilliance of the or ha'elyin hagonus, of this lofty light that was concealed. Okay. Like a statement of the Gemara in Soita, Kol Talmid Chacham ha'oisik b'Torah mitoichet chak. So he skips out over here. I think maybe we should look it up, even though he wants to really the next part. Rabbi Avohu Oimer af masbiin oiso meziva shchina. They also satiate him from the brilliance of the Shechina. Shenemar v'hoyu einecha royos es moirecha, and your eyes will see your guide. Okay, so that's what he gets from this Gemara. This Masbino Yisrael Meziva Shechina. He understands that that's an expression of receiving God's light. With Parakama the Basra, and the first paragraph of Basra, My es be'obo akitzt monasecha. What does it mean? I will satiate him in his wake with your image. Elu talmidei chachomim. These are Talmidei Chachomim sheminat the din sheina meineihem ba'olam hazeh. They remove sleep from their eyes in this world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu mazbiin meziva shechina lo'olam haba. HaKadosh Baruch Hu satiates them from the radiance of His Shechina in the world to come. U'perak chelak derish Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda I'm not sure who that is. Somebody who blackens his face over divrei Torah in this world. In other words, he puts in so much effort and he secludes himself and he tries so hard that he blackens his face, meaning he doesn't see the light of day, I guess, and he just completely dedicates himself to learning Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu HaKadosh Baruch Hu shines, increases his shine in the world to come. So they can get the more a person kind of diminishes his physicality by attaching himself to the Torah, right? So he kind of subjugates himself to the Torah. So in proportion to that, Mida Keneged Mida, Hashem kind of lights him up in the next world. Okay, and now the key point. V'hakol lefi eirech roiv iskoi v'niflois dveikusa b'Torah kedosha. But everything is in proportion, right? Lefi eirech, according to the measure, the proportion of the iskoi, of his involvement, v'niflois dveikusoi, and the wondrous of dveikus, of attachment, b'Torah kedosha. K'mashkosa b'tan devilio. Okay, so just like it says Tan devilio, eitzel tzadikim anemer. What does it say by tzadikim? It says v'oy havov, and his beloved ones, meaning the tzadikim, kitzeis hashemesh b'gvurosoi. They will shine like the sun in its strength, right? Mashenkin malachei ashares. Malachei ashares, it says a different pasuk. So the tzaddikim have a greater brilliance than then Malachi Asharis, then the ministering angels. So the Tan de Villiau comments, "My yofa koicho shel balabayas, how beautiful is the power of the balabayas, meaning Hashem, shehu miyape keser avodav kimo kisrei, that he gives to the same crown to his slaves as his own, right? Meaning he brightens them up to such a degree that they're almost like him. That's the idea. Ve'im toimar, but if you're going to ask me, mishikora harbe v'shona harbe, somebody who read a lot, right, and learned a lot, or mishikora v'shona tkimo, and somebody who read a little and learned very little, so will their face lights up equally with the same brilliance in the world to come? No, that's not true. Baruch Hamokum, blessed be the place, meaning Hashem. Baruch Hu, blessed be He, she'ein lefon of masaponim, He does not have masaponim, nepotism or favoritism. Nemar b'mokum acher, we see that it says in a different pasuk, Yoser Mire'ehu Tzadik, more than his friend it was the Tzadik. Meaning that to say that Ela Kol Echad Be'echad Lefi Darkoi, each one gets in accordance to his way, meaning to the proportion of his dveikus. That was the key idea. Right? Again, it goes back to the main idea of Nefesh HaChaim, right? Nefesh HaChaim, we spoke already a few times, that the Nefesh HaChaim was saying that Torah L'Shmo is different than the Hasidim, right? So we're talking about dveikus, right? Meaning there was the idea that you learn Torah with dveikus, and he says he's telling, yes, you're right, you have to learn Torah with dveikus, but the standard, approach was you learn Torah with dveikus to Hashem. It is in that moment that you're learning. It's how much dveikus you have to Hashem, and he's saying no, it's permanent. It's how much dveikus you have in your life to the actual project known as, my Torah project, my Torah learning project, my lifelong learning project, right? So the more dveikus I have to the actual, my lifelong learning project, that's the dveikus that gives me that future life, right? So it's not about this particular learning. Today I learned good. I mean, that's also important, but it's about my whole life is dveikus in learning. Right.
Okay.
So the more dveikus I have, meaning the more I'm pursuing this project of figuring out the Ratzon Hashem, right? The figuring out what is the Chacham, the wisdom of Hashem. So that effort, that dveikus, is what gives me that future brilliance. Okay. And this is the secret of the light that was created on the first day. Right, I mentioned this in this Yom Kippur. Right, we start off Yom Kippur with the pasuk Or Zeruah LaTzadik U'Lishrei Simcha. Right, that the light Or Zeruah LaTzadik, the light that is planted for the tzaddik. Right, so that light is referring to the light of that first day that Hashem created. This light, Or, let there be light, as we read in this week's parasha. Right, let there be light, and he says Vayavdil, and then he separated. So Rashi says, what do you mean? He made light and then he separated. So Rashi says that he secluded it, he concealed it for the future. This light was too great, right? So he's saying, no, this light that was too great, that he concealed for the future, Shegonza HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Tzadikim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu concealed for the future for Tzadikim, this is the light that to the Talmidei Chachomim, meaning the learners, this is the light that they tap into. Right? This is kind of what you were alluding to in our conversation before. Okay, anyways, V'chein Yisa B'Zohar, Bereshis, Rabbi Eliezer or Pasach, Rabbi Eliezer probably Pasach began, Ma Rav Tuvcho Asher Tzafanta, what is this great good Asher Tzafanta that you have hid, right, to your beloved ones? Tochazi, come and see, Kutshabrichu Borar Levarnash Be'alma, Kosh Baruch created man in this world, Ve'askin Lei Lemehevish Shlim B'Fulchana, and he set up a situation where he can be perfect in his Pulchana, in his work, in his avoida, Ule'asakna Archoy, and he can fix his ways. Begin the Yazki Le'Nahara Ilo Degonis Kutshabrichu L'Tzadikaya, in order that he should be Zoicha to this Nahara Ilo, to this lofty light, the Gonis that Kosh Baruch Hu concealed L'Tzadikaya, for his tzadikim. Kamodeat Omar, just like you say in the pasuk, Ayin Lara Osa, eye has not seen it, right? But Yasa L'Mechakeloi, he will make it to the one who mechaka, who yearns for him. And with what does a person merit that light? Be'araisa, with the Torah, right? So the Torah is the key to that light.
Mm-hmm.
The Torah is the key to that primordial light. And our Rabbi said in Chagiga, Asher kumtu v'loi eis nahar yutzak yisoidam. So the pasuk in Eov, which I don't know how to translate. Okay, it's complicated, but basically, I mean, it says it's v'loi eis nahar. It's not time for this light. Yutzak yisoidam, their foundation flows, something like that. Elu talmidei chachamim. So this pasuk is referring to talmidei chachamim. Shemekamtin sheina meinehem. They break up. Shemekamtin. They break up sheina meinehem, sleep from their eyes. Ba'olam hazeh, in this world. Hakadosh Baruch Hu megala lohem soid lo'olam haba. Hakadosh Baruch Hu reveals to him the secret in the world to come. Shneamar nahar yutzak yisoidam. Vehem hatamei haTorah hagnuzim, and they are the reasons of the Torah that are concealed. Shehem ha'ora elyon hagon. So he's saying an interesting thing. He's saying that, and he's going to really elaborate this further on. He's saying a beautiful thing. He's saying that the Torah is specifically designed in such a way that you could, there's the initial level. Okay, it's very simple. An ox gores another ox. How much do you pay? So it's very practical, very basic, very this worldly, right? But this worldly scenario is just a cover for deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper things, and you can keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper until you get so abstract that you get to kind of the really to the ways of God, to the initial ways of God, to the true kind of godliness, right? And this is the same. It is that light of wisdom that is concealed in this very pragmatic, practical kind of story, right? The search for that concealed light within the story is the thing that merits you to get to that light that was concealed for tzaddikim, right? It's so the revelation that comes from the Torah is the thing that allows you to merit the revelation of godly light. Okay, and that's why the Torah learning is a much more of a it's much more of a I mean it's the best designed vehicle to come closer to God, because the actual search and the actual kind of ladder of levels is built into the very nature of this vehicle, right? You read it once, you get one level. You read it another time, you get another level, and you keep the more you go over it, the more you delve into it, the higher levels you climb, and so it becomes, by its very nature, a ladder to godliness. Okay? So good. V'lechein omer b'perush HaTorah kol ha'oisik b'Torah l'shmo, which b'pirkei HaTorah, so in Pirkei Avos, right? So this is a famous Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, right? It says kol ha'oisik b'Torah l'shmo, somebody who learns Torah l'shmo for its sake. This is again back to Nefesh HaChaim's l'shmo, right? Zoiche l'dvorim harbe. He is zoiche. He merits to many things. Okay, let's open a siddur and actually see this Mishnah inside.
Okay.
All right. So the Mishnah says like this. The Mishnah says. Okay, Rabbi Meir Oymans, the first Mishnah of the 6th parak, okay, which is an additional kind of parak from the Pirkei Avos, or whatever. So Rabbi Meir Oymer kol oisik b'Torah l'shmo, somebody who learns Torah l'shmo for its sake. Okay, this by the way connects with Acher. I don't know if just as a side point, because Rabbi Acher, who was Rabbi Meir's Rebbe, one of the problems, the reason why he kind of went off, is because originally when his father, I don't know if you remember the story, when his father he was just born, and the Talmidei Chachamim came to learn by his father, and he saw their light, and his father says, "Oh, I wish you'd have as much honor as these Rabbonim." And so Acher, from a kind of his very inception, had this misguided goal for learning. So he wasn't Lishma. So it's not inappropriate that Rabbi Meir comes and he says, no, kol ha'oisik b'Torah lishma, right? Then he says, zoich l'dvarim harbe. He merits many things, v'lo'oid, and not only that, shekol ha'olam kula kedai huloi. The whole world is enough just for him. And then he says, nikra reya, he is called beloved, ohuv, loved, oyev esamokim, he loves Hashem, oyev esabrius, he loves the creations, he makes Hashem happy. He makes the creations happy. Okay, and many, many other things, right? So the question that everybody asks is, one second. You start out saying, Kol ha'oisik b'Torah lishma, right? I don't know if you can see it. It says, Kol ha'oisik b'Torah lishma, right? Somebody who learns Torah lishma, zoich l'dvarim harbi, he merits many things, right? V'lo'oid, and not only that, here are some other things, but he never told us what are these many things. This is v'la'oid, not only these things, also these things. But what are these things? What are these things? He never specifies. He says he merits many things. Yeah. So that's so this is now what Nefesh HaChaim is going to come to explain. So it says in Pirkei Avos, Kol ha'oisik b'Torah l'shmo, somebody who learns Torah l'shmo, he merits many things. Sosam, he says he's closed. V'loy perish. He didn't explain what are these things. The Efshar Loimer, you cannot tell me shehem hadvorim shepeirit sham achar that these are the same things that he enumerates right further on. Why not? Sharei Omer achar, because right after this he says v'loy oid, and not only that. So we see from that the first statement is by itself, that these dvarim harbe are besides the things that are listed further. So Amnam, however, Romas, what he's trying to be meram is what Reb Meir is hinting at, is lehaidun v'tzichzuach hanefesh b'oragodnos, is to the idun, to the kind of the enjoyment, the pleasure, v'tzichzuach hanefesh, and the glowing of the soul of this in this concealed light. Asher gam kol malachei mailas v'chayos v'sarfei hakodesh, like all of the great angels and the chayos and the seraphim, right? V'shum novi v'choize lo hisigu, and any prophet and seer has not been able to reach. Kol etzem klal etzem inyonei, at all. What is the nature of this light? Kamamoram, as it says in the Gemara, kol haneviim kulum lo nisnabu elo. So the Gemara says that all the Nevi'im only prophesied regarding the days of Mashiach, right? But Olam Haba, it says, right? It says Ayin l'roso lekim zulasecha. Or others, there's another statement that says all the Nevi'im when they prophesied, the reward. The Torah gives reward. If you do Hashem's mitzvahs, you will get this and this, right? So we have from Nevi'im. They talk about the reward, but the reward that they talk about is always this worldly reward, right? If you do Hashem's mitzvahs, Hashem will give you rain, Hashem will give you protection, Hashem will give you... Right, so everything that the Nevi'im spoke about is this worldly. So he says they're talking about, let's say, the different state. There's a list of statements in that Gemara. So one of the statements says, but Aval Talmidei Chachamim, but the reward, so the Nevi'im spoke about regular people. But Talmidei Chachamim, Ayin l'ra'aso lekim zulasecha. But Talmidei Chachamim, the reward that they're going to get is eye has not seen it except for God Himself. Right? So meaning the reward of Talmidei Chachamim is much greater than anybody else's. Right? V'hu ha'eden v'hayayin meshumer ba'anonav. This is the Eden, right, the Gan Eden, and the Yain HaMeshumer, the wine that's guarded, right? Shomru Shom, my Ayin L'Ra'oso. What is this Ayin L'Ra'oso? Again, that's what they're talking about over there. V'Kol Echad, everything. So the idea is really the same. That the soy, that the secret is HaTaimei Torah HaGnuzim, the secrets of the Torah that were concealed in the Torah, Shalon Isgalo Adain, that have not yet been revealed, right? And the Talmud Chacham comes and he reveals them and he opens them up. Lechein, so good, that's it. So Lechein Omar Stam L'Dvorim Harbe. So that's what Rabbi Meir says generally, that he doesn't specify what this thing is. He says the Talmud Chacham that learns Torah L'Shma, he's going to earn many things. Mm-hmm. What are those many things? He doesn't say what it is because he's hinting at something that is we cannot express fully because we don't really know what it is. We just know it's there. It's ayin laros or legumes lasecha. It's something that we know it's there, but it's such great levels that nobody has actually been able to fully verbalize what they are. L'dvarim harbe, many things. It's not something that is graspable that you can say over and explain. Okay, so we see an amazing thing that a Talmud Chacham, the person who learns Torah, is if by delving deeper and deeper into Torah and opening up layers of, first of all, of layers of soul within himself, opening up layers of meaning within the Torah, is what gives him the ability to earn, this light that was concealed. Okay, Betana de Veliyahu said Eliyahu Rabbah, Omar Ashrei Odom Sheyesh Bo Divrei Torah. Praiseworthy is a man who has with him the words of Torah. V'hu Yoshei v'Koirei v'Shoina, and he sits and he reads and he learns b'mokum tzunua v'seiser, in a concealed, hidden place. Eitzel mi malina noisoi. So next to whom will such a person be malina, meaning will rest? Havi oimer eitzla kodesh baruch hu, meaning when he's going to die, who is he going to be by? He's going to be by Hashem himself. Shenemar, because it says regarding Hashem, Yoisei, well, they're darshaning Yoishiv b'seiser, somebody who sits in seiser, in concealment. Elyon is lofty betzel shakai as islainon. He will he will reside. I will say reside, but he will dwell in the shade of Shakai, in the shade of Hashem. Kishem shehem mesimin atzmon yechidim boilam hazeh, just like they make themselves you alone, kind of. They seclude themselves, right? They seclude themselves in this world, and there's no stranger amongst them. So too is the same way they are in the world to come. They sit by Hashem alone. So this is an interesting idea. I mean, this is really profound, and it's questionable. Let me just say what he's saying. Mm-hmm. He's saying, so the Maharal says this again. I'm going to lengthen. Let me see what time is it. It's 11:25. Okay, 5 minutes will do. Mm-hmm. So the Mishnah in Chagiga says, right? The Mishnah talks about the secrets, right? Different types of Kabbalah, Ma'aseh Merkava, Ma'aseh Bereshis, Arayis. Mm-hmm. So the Mishnah in Chagiga says, Ein dorshin be'arayis ela be'shloisha, when you're 3 people. Mm-hmm. Ein dorshin be'Ma'aseh Bereshis ela Talmud, whatever. And Ma'aseh Merkava, you're just by yourself, I think. Okay? Something along those lines. But the point is that the Maharal says that the process, the way he understands that mission, is the process of learning Torah. Mm-hmm. The topic of meaning the process of learning has to match the topic of learning. So just like Arayas, by its definition, involves 2 people, mm-hmm. right? Because Arayas is with 2 people, mm-hmm. right? So this, and he's talking about, obviously we're talking about the secrets of Arayas, the kind of the secret message that concealed within Arayas. So you also learn it with 2 people. Ma'aseh Bereshis, which is Hashem and the world, learn it with 1 Talmud and the creator, meaning the Rebbe. And Ma'aseh Merkava, the Rebbe is by himself, because Ma'aseh Merkava is Hashem to himself. So in other words, so there is this idea that, again, the divine wisdom is different than just any other wisdom. that the actual, right, meaning if you're learning, I don't know, if you're trying to figure out physics, you're trying to figure out quantum physics, so if you have a team of 100 scientists working together, so the better, because you probably get deep, you get more into it, you get more info. Crowdsourcing is better. For Torah, it's not that way. Torah is divine, so you have to approach it in a certain way. So therefore, the way you learn it is part of the acquisition, the process. I don't know, sorry, the style. I don't want to say it, but the fashion in which you're learning it has to be appropriate for the topic also, because the fashion of learning is part of the acquisition of that wisdom. Mm-hmm. So this, I've never seen before. We hear this till now. Is that there is an element of Torah that should be learned b'seser, in concealment. If you want to get to the secrets of Torah, if you want to delve deeper, right? So sometimes you got to learn in groups. The Gemara says in Brachos, right? Haskes u'Shema Yisrael. Haskes means, the Gemara says asu kitos, make groups and learn Torah. And the Gemara says, oh, how terrible it is that Talmidei Chachamim are learning bad bevad, that they're learning individually, right? Because that's not how the Torah is supposed to learn. You're supposed to learn a Torah in groups. While this Tana de Vilyahu is saying the opposite. Oh, how great is this guy who's Yoshev B'Seiser, who's sitting by himself and he's learning. Why is he sitting by himself? Because this is a type of learning that requires what Chassidim call his boydudus, seclusion, right? Seclusion. So because he gets this great reward, because he secludes himself, he's zoicha to this great also seclusion with Hashem, right? So how do you take the two Gemaras together? One Gemara says how terrible it is to seclude, right? And one Gemara says, or at least in this Medrash, the Ton de Vilyahu says, oh, how great this seclusion is, right? So I'm not sure. Right now, I would say the only answer that I have is, okay, there's different, there's different, like we say, topics of learning, right? The different modalities of learning. If you want to get to the basic, you're learning Gemara, your first you just want to get the basic kind of pshat of Basra. You gotta have people. You gotta talk it with this guy, and what is this Tosfos saying? I have a kasha on this Tosfos, this Pnei Yeshua, this Briskerov. You gotta get those arguments and debates and discussions, and you until you rip the piece, the Gemara to shreds, so to speak. You deconstruct it as much as possible. Okay, you got now you deconstructed it. Now that you deconstructed it, now you want to get into the depth of it. Then you go into a seclusion, and now you try to put it together. Okay, now I'm by myself, and I get deep, and I start kind of drilling in. So you need both. There's a time to haskes or Shema Yisrael. You gotta asukitos. You gotta get groups and get into a Chaburah and get into discussions But then there are times when a person withdraws and goes into himself and goes into the books and kind of blackens his face, as he said before, and gets into it. Okay, so again, it's a very novel idea, at least, that the type of learning, right? If your idea is you want to get to the secrets, to the concealed layers, you have to seclude. If you want to first, right? Because you're mimicking, you're mimicking your fashion of learning has to be appropriate for what you're trying, for the goal that you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve the inner levels of Torah, then you got to withdraw into yourself and also in seclusion and get. Right. That's the way to do it. If you want to get first to the outer layers of Torah before you can get to the inner, you got to first conquer the outer layers of Torah, and there you need groups and discussions and debates and all of that stuff. So it's quite interesting. Okay.